This is DJ Dub of the Fantasy Couriers, and we are proud to partner with Underdog as the official sponsor of the Fantasy Couriers podcast. If you haven't done Underdog yet, what's holding you back? Take a chance, jump on. This is draft season, and Underdogs has many best ball drafts that you can join in on. So during the offseason, go to Underdog, join a best ball draft. Keep an eye out. There might even be some Fantasy Couriers best ball drafts coming up. And during the season, great pick'em contests that are live now for in-season play. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app. Use the promo code Couriers, and you will get your deposit matched up to $100. Let me say that again. Deposit matched up to $100. So what's holding you back? Jump onto Underdog, have a blast, enjoy, and let's get ready for the show.
What is happening, fellow fantasy GMs? I am JJ Wang. He is the bearded one, DJ Dub. And with our powers combined, we are the Fantasy Couriers.
Wide receivers were rolling the beginning of the week, and we could have done 3 hours on wide receivers, and you could have done like 12 tiers. I could have went up to 100.
And I do feel bad because I left my boy Gabe Davis off the list.
Oh, I did too.
I should have put him in my tier 7. I felt bad all week. Still like him. He's still one of my favorite players. I failed to put him in my tier.
Oh man, JJ Wang, I don't know what he's gonna be sad to hear that from you. Like, we were supporters.
Okay. I apologize. Let's get to these tight ends. Way more fun.
So we are going from, really, really gajillion guys to limited numbers of the tight ends. And,
there's a lot of them. There's definitely a lot of them.
Every team has to carry 2 or 3 of them. And a lot of them are really good at blocking. And that's the problem. Like, you get Sample from the Bengals a couple years ago. Terrible for this, but he was a good blocker. And there's a lot of guys that go through that kind of and they're useful to the team, but they're useless to us. So the question before we get into our rankings for you as we're doing tight ends is how much of a differential, like, tight end premium is a rising kind of league. And I got a couple tight end premiums. I think it adds to the value because if not, tight ends are becoming like kickers. You got that week where the kicker kicks 3 field goals and magically is great. And the next week, the team scores 3 touchdowns, you get 3 points. So the team does better. The kicker gets totally messed over. Then you got the tight end who they are the generally touchdown feast or famine kind of guys. Everybody knows JJ Wang's not a tight end guy because, he should be because tight ends are the greatest. I should have changed into my tight end U shirt from my Fantasy Couriers one. What kind of a differential how much of a premium would tight ends need for you to really go, hey, I'm going to put an extra focus on them versus letting them flow at normal or just a smidge above normal,
I'm not. So you're talking about as far as like points goes? Is that how you're looking at it?
Like regular, say most leagues are either PPR or half PPR. So if you're in a PPR league, what would a premium on tight end? Would it be 1.5, 2 points would really make you change your mind, or?
But I'd want to say 2 points, right? But then that just makes Kelsey like the most valuable player I don't want to say in football, but then it just makes that top end. It makes like those top tight ends just so valuable just to get like those lower ones. I guess that's the whole point. But yeah. If it's 2, I think I would consider thinking, all right, tight ends got to go early. But I think everybody's thinking that at that point because that's a lot of points.
Adds up super quick, but then again, if you're only getting 50 catches a year, that's 100 points.
If you want to make it equal, most of these tight ends are only catching the ball 35, 40 times, and they're the ones that you want to try to make relevant because they're just not in any other way except for that 1 week where they dropped 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I've seen leagues where they just took tight ends and they just make them part of wide receivers. So if you want Kelsey, he's your wide receiver 2 or 3, and then you don't draft like some of the guys later. I still love the tight end.
I don't like tight ends, but I still like adding. I still like the position. It still makes it good for football.
But you still like kickers and defense too. So
I still like kickers and defenses. I'm all right. I'm all right without them, but I'm okay to join a league that has them. I don't see the big deal.
Yeah, I'm not without that. So let's jump into tight ends. And let's start with me being out of order. There we go. So let's start with my tight end rankings. I'm sure there's a big surprise at the top with, Travis Kelce. Like everybody on the face of the planet Earth has him. So the first two usually are generally Kelce Andrews. Some people will have my number 7 way up there. So that's where I'm going to zag a lot. But I've got Kelce, Andrews, Kittle, Waller, Goddard, Pitts, Hawkinson, and Njoku. So probably the two most egregious to a lot of people on this list are how low I have Hawkinson, because I don't I don't know something. There's nothing more than a gut feeling, and it's tight end. So Hawkinson could be tight end 2 or tight end 22, but with adding Addison, with he got a majority of his touchdowns in what, 1 or 2 those 2 games last year, but that's tight ends. So that could make what gets him up to number 2. The consistency, like I think that Darren Waller, and from what I saw, from what's showing up in that preseason game, Darren Waller might be back to Darren Waller. It's health, obviously, so he could be ahead of there. Goddard in the Hurts craziness there, and their team's gonna put up points. And I'm kind of gross that I have Kyle Pitts that high. I don't know why I do. I should put him at like 27, but
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, like it could go so many ways with these guys. I mean, George Kittle's already hurt. I mean, he's already getting hurt in
he's always
preseason. He's always hurt, so you never know how much you're going to get that guy. That's what makes having him at number 3. But when he does play, he's a great blocker. I mean, what else could you ask for? I mean, he goes out there and does his job. But George Kittle he's always up and down. Waller, I mean, who knows? Like all these guys, who knows? Except for Kelce, literally, who knows? And even Njoku at number 8. I mean, are we really going to take Njoku at 8 after the years that he's had of being like just fantasy? Like, I wish.
well, and then let's look at my next couple, because I realized I will have to move. I don't know. I'm not gonna let one game change it yet. But number 9 is my favorite player. That's why he's my picture on here. So if you want to see our rankings while we're talking, pop onto YouTube. I also will pop them on our socials. But Chig is my boy. He's been my boy since the get go. I loved Chig last year when the athleticism was shown, and he's just stuck in Tennessee. So maybe he makes that step up. But how much of a step will he make with any of those 3 quarterbacks? Who knows? But I love me some Chig. I'm hoping he keeps going up. It's him and 2 receivers. So I might open up some things for him.
I mean, it's possible. I don't like Ryan Tannehill, so good luck. I'm looking at Evan Ingram. Speaking of quarterbacks that I do like that could kill it, Trevor Lawrence definitely going in the right direction as far as it started out, and not good. Second year was better, and I think just prepared for him to take that next step. And Evan Ingram performed solidly last year. He looks like a super tight end in that offense with Trevor Lawrence at the helm, and everybody's going to be good. And I think Evan Ingram I think he could be a dark horse here and possibly be like a top 5 tight end. It wouldn't surprise me.
And he could. And only thing wondering for me is with what they had last year and what he did, what is Ridley going to affect? If I have Ridley, I think, what was he, 13 or so, my receivers, is the Ridley effect going to affect Ingram? Is it going to affect Kirk? Is it going to affect both of them? Is Ingram going to, Ingram's good 1 year, then bad for 4, and then good for 1 and bad for, I don't know. I think he's going to be good, and I would have no problem putting him right there behind Goddard. I honestly wouldn't, because I think a couple of these guys here I could totally do that. So
I'm trusting Evan Ingram at this point more than I'm trusted in Njoku, Kyle Pitts, Chig, and even Pat Freiermuth, because we know Evan Ingram can do it, and all these other guys are just great, big, giant, huge question marks. So that's my Evan Ingram theory. I never thought I'd say that. That's weird. It sounded weird to say.
Well, I said it his first year. My brother and I had a discussion over Evan Ingram or oh my goodness, I just lost his name. He was drafted by the Bucks and now he plays for
OJ Howard.
Yeah. OJ Howard. I was like, OJ Howard's garbage. I was like, you look at what he did, he's not going to be that good. And I was like, Evan Ingram's the guy to get, and he was good that year. Number 12 is my big one. I love him, and he was outshone. He's the tight end too, but he's number 12 on my list currently. And so this list was made as I'm trying to figure out the Troutman dilemma. Greg Dulcich was supposed to be the Joker, and now he's a joke.
Yeah, I don't even know why he's. I don't even know why he's on. I don't know why we were talking about. I don't even. Yeah, I have nothing to say about this guy. I have no idea what his status is. This does seem really high for Dulcich.
Yeah, I was
So,
leaving it where he was, and I just need to. It'll be adjusted. My mine are fluid. I can look through it as we go through the preseason because Adam Troutman's your boy, and he's tight end one. But what's that going to mean? They were praising all of a sudden. Dulcich, did he do something stupid? Or and then so I wrap up with Schultz, Cole, Komet, who could be much higher if he does more than catch touchdowns. Schultz could be C.J. Stroud's go-to guy. For me, Higbee's the guy that could pole vault up here because catapult up here, whatever he wants to do up into a top 10 tight end because on that offense, if you look at how he rolls through the seasons, he's a fairly consistent if healthy kind of guy, but nobody was healthy on that team last year.
yeah, I mean, Higbee's been highlight here, highlight there. I don't know. He's just never been like a consistent tight end that I really want to care about. I mean, I feel like we had this same talk every year, and it just never happens. So I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll probably pass on it. I'd have Cole Kmet long before I would have Tyler Higbee.
He did. He had 72 receptions last year. I was like, wow, I didn't realize it was that high. But
Maybe I missed the boat on it then. I didn't. I
he
don't
still
see
had
it.
3 touchdowns, so he's a tight end. So he had 3 touchdowns, so he's not worth anything. So it's let's go to the next bunch of stellar tight ends that could finish anywhere from tight end 3 to tight end 36. So 17 through 26, Juwan
Jesus
Johnson, Irv
Crazy,
Smith, Kate.
dude.
Well, I got them all the way through. Kate Otten, Hayden Hurst, Dawson Knox, Noah Fant, Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, Zach Ertz, and Tyler Conklin.
I mean, only what I mean, I like Juwan Johnson maybe a little more than you do here. Probably, I think Kate Otten's interesting. The rest of them, I mean, I like Irv Smith from a long time ago, but if I got any of these guys on my tight, I am struggling, and I just do not want it.
Austin
But I
Hooper.
do like Juwan Johnson, though.
I love. I've always been.
I am how
I
I
think I
am.
found a snippet from a couple years ago. My Juwan Johnson love. But Hooper's an interesting one because he could step into being that tight because it might be him versus the rookie Mayer in Vegas. Like I was gonna say
I,
Oakland. And then
yeah, I'm a bigger Mayer fan than I am Hooper. I feel like Hooper's still
rookie
living
tight
off
ends are hard
that.
to.
I think Hooper's still living off that one big year in Atlanta, and then ever since then he got the contract and hasn't really been a good tight end since. That's been my feeling. At least Michael Mayer coming in, they say he's looked great in camp. Jimmy Garoppolo is his quarterback, so good luck. But we know Jimmy Garoppolo can throw it short, so Mayer will be open.
And that's the same thing I had here with Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. I mean, I could put them back to back. I don't. I mean, Josh Allen's never thrown a ton to the tight end, and now he has 2 decent tight ends. Kincaid came in as the best tight end, but he's a rookie tight end, and historically, rookie tight ends, meh. The one that probably will jump the most up, my 27, it's Logan Thomas, Mayer, Kincaid, Jake Ferguson, Gesicki, Taysom Hill, McBride, Laporta, Wood, Jelani Woods, and Darnell Washington. Jake Ferguson's probably going to be one of my risers. I might move him up a boat ton soon because I think he's a lot of people like the rookie. I just Jake Ferguson. I think he knows the system and he's gonna be able to take that Dalton Schultz role.
I mean, I maybe I'm just not a big Jake Ferguson as a receiver guy. I think he's going to be solid. And plus, they got those other guys are all going. It's like a three-headed monster. Yeah, he does know the most of the offense, so he will get first shot. I mean, sure, he's a way better blocker than all of them. That's why he's going to be in the game more. But they're probably going to want him blocking way more than they want him receiving, and he might drop out here and there. But I don't know. I mean, it's possible. Like it's possible.
And I have him lower, but do you think could Laporta be the best rookie tight end this year because he's going to be in a kind of offense that will give him touches more?
I mean, he could be. I mean, I'm not going to say he won't. I mean, there's between Mayer, Kincaid, and Laporta. I mean, there's a couple. It's possible. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't expect big things out of any of them, honestly.
Yeah, me either. No, or I have Darnell Washington rookie there. So let's go to your tiers. I made one of your tiers really big. Tier one.
Yeah, so I had tier one's Travis Kelsey. That's the only guy that you really will pay top dollar for. And then Andrews, Kittle, Hawkinson, Goddard. Tier two. I already talked about them.
You put
Um,
Kittle in there. I'm proud of you, man.
yeah, I mean, he's still George Kittle. I mean, he loves the block. That's how it goes. And then tier three, Evan Ingram. I got Pat Fryermuth. He's one of my favorite guys here. I think that offense is going to be way better. And I got Walker. I should say Waller. I'm guessing
Oh yeah.
that was throwing me way off. I was like, who is that? And then like I got Juwan Johnson here in my tier 3. I'm thinking that offense is going to be a little better with David Carr. David Carr loved Darren Waller, and Juwan Johnson's pretty much the same kind of tight end, big athletic guy. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Juwan Johnson has a big year. So I'm hoping.
I do like the Juwan Johnson thing there. Cole Kmet might jump up. Waller, I mean, yeah, I can't argue with anything there. We're gambling on we're hoping, we're both thinking that Kenny Pickett is going to take that next step. So that would be the only thing slowing down Pat Freiermuth, depending upon what Pickett does in that second year. Does he stretch the field more? Is he gonna be more of a short route guy? And that affects everybody all the way around the entire system. So that affects, if it's short stuff, it's going to be Freiermuth and Deontay Johnson more. If it's the bigger stuff, we'll see more Pickens and down the field kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much they're going to throw. I mean, and this could totally backfire on me. It wouldn't surprise me, but I just think he's a little better of a player.
Okay. Yeah, and online guys, if you're seeing it now, Walker is now officially Waller. This one is my shock of the day. I'll be honest. With all your
so
love,
here's
he's in there.
tier 4. I mean, at this point, I don't know who I want to put here in any of these guys. I mean, I got Kyle Pitts here. I'm waiting for him to take off at some point. We're all hoping he does. Tier 4 seems really low. We don't expect that from him. And I got Mayer, Michael Mayer here. I even got Dalton Schultz. I think CJ Stroud's going to need like a short guy to go to. He's going to be one of his best friends this year. But at this, I just don't know at any point in any of these guys.
So if you don't get one of those top guys and you're looking at your tiers and this is what you have, are you are you um are you waiting for any of these guys? Are you
I mean,
like
when it gets to tier
punting?
4, I mean this is all I got left. I'm starting to be like, look, I think I got to get. I'm kind of confident in these guys that they can be consistent enough to not let me down week to week. That's what I'm looking for here, and I think these are solid enough guys, but they're all question marks. Schultz, the offense is bad. Pitts, question mark his whole career. Question. I mean, it's just question marks all along this tier. But I mean, I'm kind of confident in these guys.
Okay.
But then tier 5, these are just random guys that I thought kind of like that might break out. Maybe who knows? At this point, if you got a tier 5 tight end, you're in trouble anyway. You kind of punted the position. Trey McBride, Zach Ertz. I don't know what his deal is. They've got some bad quarterback play. Bad quarterback can play to lead some decent tight end numbers. And then two biggest surprise, Kyle Granderson and Cole Turner. Granson, there you go. Kyle Granson and Cole Turner. I think Granson's the better receiver out of all three of the tight ends in Indianapolis. I think it's going to help Anthony Richardson a little bit. And Cole Turner, I mean, I'm going to continue my Commanders love here. I mentioned him earlier. Logan Thomas never plays. Everybody seems to like this guy in camp. I mean, he's catching the balls. That's all you can really ask for. He's a receiving tight end. And then last year, him and Sam Howell obviously probably working together all year with Howell lower on the depth chart, Turner lower on the depth chart. So they're always working together. So they might have formed a bond. I'm just trying to open ears to Cole Turner.
And he is I've been hearing some stuff about him just floating through the fantasy wires and stuff that Cole Turner could, with Thomas being somewhat limited, that he could be sneaking in there. So that's a good name to throw in there. I like that. Not Granson. I mean, I don't even know what to think of anything in Indianapolis. Like, I just threw the big guy in there because I like Jelani Woods. At that point, Kate Otten is a guy I like. Kate Otten a lot. And I'm hearing a lot of rumblings about him based on how he was getting the touchdowns last year, and his end zone target percentage was kind of crazy. But it was Tom Brady, so we will see where he goes. So as we wrap up here, the question I ask you is, tight ends. We know it's Travis Kelce, a couple of guys, and then the rest. If you're stuck with the rest, on your roster in a redraft league, are you just carrying one terrible tight end, or do you carry a second one in case you get fire from that second guy? So are you wasting if you wait? So if I have Kelsey, I'm not going to take anybody till bye weeks. But if I got Kate Otten, am I also going to have Mayer on my team? Would you carry two?
Well, I don't know if you can carry two bad ones. I mean, that's
Two bad ones isn't good.
two questionable ones because the rosters are so small in redraft. I mean, I need backup running backs and I need backup wide receivers and even not really maybe a backup quarterback. And I don't just think there's enough space for a backup tight end. And it's hard. And if you're relying on K. Dot and Michael Mayer, I mean, I just carry one of those guys and just hope it hits and just have to pick up maybe somebody off the wire if it doesn't.
That's me with I got Greg Dulcich right now, and I'm on the struggle bus knowing that
as a tight end.
He's my number one tight end in our auction league.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. So people are starting to sniff around the reservation right now, and I'm like, I'm gonna hold. I'm holding on my, as I said in my thing, I'm gonna hold on my Greg Dulcich, see how the preseason pans out. Like something might change. They might have seen, hey, Adam Troutman's been hurt and terrible for a couple of years. Let's see what we got. We know Dulcich. I loved him coming out. I was sad I missed out on the first places last year.
But what if Adam Troutman is just old school year 3 tight end breakout?
He's on the waiver. He's year 4, so it's good. He's on the waiver wire. I can pick him up.
Year 4 breakout.
I think he's year 4. I know he's older. Juwan Johnson outshowing. So yeah, but we'll see. So JJ Wang, end this show with something that's very hard for you to do. I want you to end it telling positive things about tight ends.
Well, this is probably gonna be the first
Travis Kelce.
You said that doesn't involve Travis Kelce?
Yeah, because he's a monster.
Well, that's gonna hurt. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm super excited about Cole Kmet with Justin Fields. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm really excited about Juwan Johnson. You've been talking about it, and I think I've finally coming around to him. I mean, there's a lot of deep sleeper tight ends that I really do enjoy, but you just can't start them. Just like I said, Cole Turner. I mean, these guys are there. I want to like them, but they're just no help to me at this point. So you just gotta hope at some point that they're helpful. Is that good enough?
That sounds great. Now, last question before you tell us to trust ourselves is Travis Kelce the greatest tight end of all time?
I would have to say at this point, I mean, I don't see who would you take over Travis Kelce with the production. I mean, of course he's got Patrick Mahomes, but he's been doing it for a long time. But I think at this point with his career, I think it's easy to say that absolutely. And as always, trust yourself and trust the process.